how fast you were just going, ma'am?
Knock it off or I'll do it in your nuts.
The suspect was in the vehicle that was hit by the train.
Cops are held to an extremely high standard and are put through rigorous training before they're allowed to protect us on the streets. But what happens when female cops mess up big time and destroy their careers?
Where are you taking me?
We're taking you to the car. Come on. Oh my god! Oh my god!
This Colorado cop learned the hard way that some mistakes are worse than others when she made a mistake so bad that it put a suspect's life in grave danger. 21-year-old boy Yereni had been pulled over after being involved in a road rage incident where she allegedly threatened someone with a gun. The pursuing officer from the Platteville Police Department found her and pulled her over, stopping the patrol car on a railroad crossing right in the middle of the train tracks. Reinforcements from Fort Lupton arrived on the scene to help, and one of those officers was a young cop known as Miss Stanky. She bundled Yereni into the Platteville patrol car and left her there while she helped search for the alleged weapon.
I'm right behind you, Vasquez. I'm going to your passenger side.
Driver, let me see your hand. Let me see your hands. Put your hands out the window.
Dispatch left in 346. She's out of the vehicle. Hands are visible. Hey.
Lift your hands up. Lift your hands up. Okay. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Put your hands up higher. I want you to set your phone down at the edge of your truck.
On your left.
You don't need it. Keep your hands up. Keep coming back. Keep coming back to the sound of my voice. Stop right there. Get down on one knee and then the other.
I got cuffs.
Good.
Good? Keep your hands above your head.
Don't move.
What's going on? Why am I being... We'll explain everything in a second.
Yereni pleads innocence and claims she doesn't understand why she's being arrested, but instead of getting answers from the police, she's made to wait in the officer's car. None of the officers seem concerned about oncoming trains, and at no point do they suggest moving the patrol car to a safer spot, or even seem to realize the car is parked on the tracks in the first place. This is something they will quickly come to regret.
Can I get my cell phone, please? No one else is in the truck, sir. Can I please get my cell phone?
We'll get it for you.
Don't worry about yourself.
Please. Where are you taking me?
We're taking you to the car. Come on. Is there any weapons in the car?
Ready?
No, ma'am. There's nothing on.
There's no weapons in the car?
Ma'am, what's going on?
I'll tell you in a second. Take a seat.
I'm so confused. Can I get
Take a
my
seat.
cell?
I will get your cell phone for you. Take a seat.
It took her a long time to pull over.
I got a holster right here in the passenger seat.
It took her a very long time to pull over. It took her a very long time to pull over.
Did you see her toss anything?
I she could have, because it took her a long time to pull over.
By the time they heard the horn of an oncoming train, it was too late to do anything about it.
She could have, because when I was behind her, she was driving slow enough,
Yeah.
so she could have tossed something back. I lit
Tossed
her
it out the window?
up. She could have, out that window, but who is that, Hart?
No, that's Tomatrack. Oh my god! Oh my god!
The vehicle is completely wrecked after it rolled over twice and traveled about half a mile down the road.
Dispatch up to 346. Get us medical emergent. The suspect was in the vehicle that was hit by the train.
Miraculously, Yereni survived the crash, although she was left with a severe head trauma and serious bodily harm. Her legal team later spoke of the effects she suffered after being handcuffed in a patrol car with nowhere to go, locked, and staring at the window of a freight train coming right at her. Yereni pleaded no contest to the road rage charges and was let off pretty lightly, escaping with a deferred sentence after a weapon was eventually found in her car.
There may still be a firearm in the vehicle. I don't know if you guys have been through it yet. You got it?
I got a holster here. No,
yeah,
not gone through.
we weren't sure if she threw it or if it's still hidden in the vehicle somewhere. It took her a long time to pull over.
Just an empty vehicle we hit, right?
I think the suspect, the lady, she was in the back.
But two of the officers involved, including Stanky, would face serious charges against them that ensured they would never work in law enforcement again, rightfully so. She escaped an attempted manslaughter charge but was found guilty of reckless endangerment and assault. She received 30 months supervised probation and will have to do up to 100 hours of community service. The second officer in the case has yet to go to trial as of January 2024, but with 5 reckless endangerment charges, he could find himself serving some serious time behind bars. I don't know how Stanky isn't facing more of that same sentence, but we'll have to see what happens. Which is exactly where this next cop could find herself after threatening to taser a male suspect in the most painful way imaginable.
Knock it off or I'll do it in your nuts.
Staff at a Vancouver Walmart called 911 in May 2023 and requested a trespass notice after they spotted a male and female concealing items before they left without paying. When police arrived, they spotted a pair of suspects matching the descriptions and they told them they were being detained. The female suspect made a run for it, but the male, later identified as Elijah, was caught by the officers after a struggle. Elijah punched one officer and kicked another in the heat of the moment. The female officer, named Mendoza, decided to take drastic action. She took out her taser and fired, but it wasn't enough to subdue Elijah, who continued to put up a fight. While the suspect was on his back, Officer Mendoza exposed his genitals, pressed her taser against them, and threatened to fire, possibly ending her career by doing so.
Hey, go ahead and stop for me. Come on.
Well, where you got me?
Yep, I told you you're under arrest.
Hold on. But why are you?
Fighting with one.
You pushed me in the balls? Yeah, you think you got me, but I let you. I'm relaxing.
Yep, that's fine. You can relax right there.
This is for stupid theft.
Theft of what?
Well, we're gonna figure it out.
You try.
Hey, ready? You can roll to me.
To you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got you. I can do it myself.
Thank you. Knock it off or I'll do it in your nuts.
There are several ways to treat a suspect that is resisting arrest, but this definitely is not one of them. Such a gross misuse of the taser isn't what police are trained for, even after they've just been assaulted. Cops are trained to keep their cool in extreme circumstances and use de-escalation techniques to avoid this exact kind of situation.
I'm done.
I will do it.
I'm done. I promise, I'm done.
Yeah, I will tase you with the
I
nuts.
promise, I'm done.
Knock it off.
I will. I promise, I'm done.
So when I say roll over, roll the over.
I will.
Now.
Okay.
She held the taser against his genitals for what must have been the most nerve-wracking 24 seconds of his life that most likely felt like much longer. What might have seemed like a good idea at the time turned out to be the worst decision of her career, as Mendoza was charged with a 4th-degree assault charge, which in Vancouver can come with a punishment of up to a year in prison. She's pleaded not guilty so far, and her trial is still ongoing. But this next female officer decided not to make things so certain, instead leaving the fate of her suspect up to the flip of a coin with disastrous consequences.
Okay.
This is tail, right?
Back in 2018, 2 Georgia police officers landed themselves in hot water after they used the most unconventional method to decide what action to take at a traffic stop. The officers Brown and Wilson pulled over Sarah for speeding, but what they realized, they didn't have their speed detection equipment with them. They tried to come up with an alternative solution.
Stay in the car.
Sorry, my window doesn't hold.
Off to Brown Roswell Police Department. You know how fast you were just going, ma'am?
I'm so sorry, I'm late for work.
So you could go over 80 miles per hour on 92? No, ma'am. You have your driver's license and your insurance card?
Yeah, my insurance.
Turn off the car and pass me the keys, please. The ground's wet. It's been raining. You're going over 80 miles an hour
so
on
sorry.
this type of a road. That's reckless driving, ma'am. So you think driving that fast on a wet road is a smart idea just because you're late for work? Instead of calling and say you're running late for work, you would rather risk people's lives.
I'm sorry.
Should have gone like almost 90 down 92. Oh, really? She flew past me. I had to get up to 90 to catch her.
Wow.
What do you think? Or just tickets?
A head, R tail.
Okay.
This is tail, right?
Yeah. So really.
23.
This is definitely not the kind of policing that anyone would condone, but it looks like Sarah might get off as the coin landed on tails, meaning under their rules, she should be let go. But a 23 is a cop's code for an arrest, meaning they decided to take her in anyway, leaving Sarah in tears.
Alright, ma'am. Do me a favor and step out of the vehicle for me. Put the phone down.
Why am I
Put your
doing
phone down. Step out of the vehicle. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Because, ma'am, you're driving entirely too fast for conditions. You put a lot of people's lives in jeopardy, okay? Do you have anything in your pockets? Do you have anything on you? Poke, stick, or stab me? Any drugs, paraphernalia, anything like that? Have a seat for me.
Sarah, the driver, later claimed she was speeding to make it to work on time, and the charges against her were dismissed. But the two officers involved didn't come off so lucky. They were fired from the Georgia police for their reckless decision-making, and I bet you they didn't use a coin toss to make that decision, and told to take their gambling tendencies far away from law enforcement. But this next female cop wasn't even on duty when she ended her career after trying to escape from a DUI.
Okay, did you offer to give him money just to get him to be quiet about all this? Or?
Police were called to a traffic collision behind a bar in Parma, Ohio in February 2020 after the two drivers involved came to a disagreement about who should be held responsible. Nobody was taking responsibility for the crash and had simply resorted to blaming each other. However, when the police arrived, the decision was almost made for them as one of the drivers appeared to be drunk. One of the drivers, named Amanda, claimed she was backing out of a parking space when the other driver, Stanley, drove right into her. However, Stanley claims he was stationary at the time and it was her who drove into him. He even went on to say Amanda offered him $50 whole for the damage in an attempt to pay him off without the insurance companies getting involved. What makes this case even worse is that Amanda herself was a cop, and her fellow officers think she was drunk behind the wheel.
So what happened?
So I was backing up to leave, and I think he was pulling in. And he's like, "Oh, can you hit my car?" And I'm like,
You're a police officer?
"Yeah, I was. I was backing up to leave, and he's pulling in." So I'm like backing up, and he's like,
He was saying he was backing out.
"Well, that's what he says." And like, he was pulling in.
Okay, can you just step back a little bit, please?
He's like, "No, like, you hit my car." And I'm like, "You pulled in while I'm backing up."
Okay, did you offer to give him money just to get him to be quiet about all this? Or because that's what he's also claiming.
No.
Okay, were you drinking at all today, Amanda? How much were we talking about drinking?
No, not a lot. No.
What's not a lot?
Like 2 or 3 drinks, like throughout the day.
Amanda maintains her innocence, denies trying to pay the other driver off, and even disputes the fact that there was an accident at all.
So this is probably the damage that what you're looking at right here.
That's not even the right side. Like, I don't even know, like, this wasn't even there.
Well,
How would
of
that
course it wouldn't be there.
How would that even hit, like, his passenger side?
Well, I don't know, but there are cameras here. All right, are you disputing the fact that there's an accident at all?
I mean, yes and no.
She admits to having a handful of drinks throughout the day, and you can't help but notice that Amanda is slurring her words and seems a little unsure on her feet, to say the least. She claims she's sober, but she's a cop and knows exactly how this process works. So the next question should come as no surprise.
How much did you drink today?
Not a lot.
What's not a lot?
I'm gonna say, like, maybe 2 or 3 drinks. That was all before 4:30.
What, though?
2 or 3 shots before 4:30. Vodka?
Would you object to doing any standardized field sobriety tests?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
You know that'd be a refusal, right?
Yes.
And you know the penalties that go with that, right?
Yes.
So why would you want to refuse?
Because I'm an officer and I know how this works.
Would you want to take the test? All right, step up.
You can refuse to take a field sobriety test, especially as they've been proven to have mixed results, but police can still arrest you if you refuse, and from that point, you're required to give a chemical test in the form of breath, blood, or urine.
Do you have anything illegal on you?
No.
Okay, turn around.
And I know that...
Do you maybe want to rethink that decision?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, hands are kind of tied then.
If Amanda is as innocent as she claims, then it seems unlikely she'd refuse to take a test, as even if the results were wrong, they could still get more accurate reading at the station. The arresting officers try to make her see sense one last time, but Amanda has other ideas altogether.
Okay, I'm going to explain something to you one last time. You know it comes with a refusal, correct?
I'm a cop. Yes, I know. It's an automatic 1-year suspension, and that's fine.
Okay, so
I'm not at fault here.
Okay.
And if I can make
I don't know about the accident, but you did slur a little bit of your words.
That's fine.
You're telling me you drank. You're coming out of a bar. Oh, okay.
You don't have to tell me. And the owner of this bar is Walter O'Malley. His brother's a prosecutor. He knows the mayor. We're all cool. It's fine.
Oh, sounds good if you put it that way.
Thank you for making my life more difficult.
You did it to yourself.
No, I didn't do it to myself.
I gave you a chance to do the test.
To do SFSTs?
Yes.
Because any fucking moron would do that? That's a fucking trap. Don't even tell me it's not. You're a cop and you know the fuck it is. We all know it is. That's more evidence that you're fucking drunk. Are you kidding me? But to tow my car and to do this to me, like, you're an officer. Like, what the
She's tried refusing to take a test using the inaccurate results as an excuse, and she's tried name-dropping several people she knows, including a local prosecutor, to win favor with the officers, but there's a big issue that she hadn't foreseen, most likely through all the drinks.
Little do you know, the owner of that bar, his brother's a prosecutor, and he's like best friends with the mayor. Good job. Doesn't mean anything, but good job.
What she didn't realize at the time is that the prosecutor she was referring to in name-dropping was no longer practicing, as he had been fired for breaking the rules of professional conduct. Amanda's case went to trial, where she was found guilty of reasonable control and was given a fine of over $300. But Amanda still wasn't as bad as this detective, who was so drunk she fell asleep at the wheel and found herself on the wrong side of the law.
Help. Las Cruces PD. Can you wake up?
On October 27, 2019, a motorist in La Cruces, New Mexico called police to report a drunk driver. It seemed that the driver was so far gone that she'd fallen asleep while waiting in an intersection. The driver was identified as Stephanie, and you guessed it, she's a police detective. The motorist woke her up, but instead of taking this moment to come to her senses, she simply tried to speed off and drive home. We always make the best decisions while we are drunk. But according to witnesses, she didn't get very far, as she was only driving at around 10 miles per hour and swerving in and out of her lane. When a patrol car found her, she was parked partially on the shoulder, blocking the road and sleeping like a baby.
Help. Help. Las Cruces PD. Help. Las Cruces PD. Can you wake up?
So right now, let 950 know. I mean, let Central know that there is no male. But there is a female passed down the passenger stand.
Yeah. No, I need you to get up. I need you to get up. 950 Central 49. There's gonna be no male with this vehicle, just a female passed down.
Yeah, turn off the.
No, get up now.
No.
Get out of the vehicle. Go ahead and get out of the vehicle for me.
Oh, what?
I'm giving you a lawful order to step out of the vehicle. Do it now.
Your own lawful order?
Step out of the vehicle.
Okay, stupid.
Right here. Who else is with you?
What do you mean? Who else is with me? Look in the car.
Wait right there, ma'am. Wait right there.
What are you talking about?
Wait right there, ma'am.
This is my own lawful order.
Ma'am, call for a supervisor right now. Only because she's not driving, but she is an employee of ours. So see if you can call supervisor over there right now.
Getting a supervisor is exactly the right thing to do here, as this could classify as a conflict of interest, as the officer explains. They go on to question other motorists who were on the highway at the time to get a more accurate picture of what happened before they arrive.
Because you probably don't know her.
No, I don't.
But anytime there's an employee involved or any law enforcement at that, you got to call supervisor no matter what. I didn't recognize her when she was passed out. That's why when we had her step out, that's when I said just leave her there and we'll just call for supervisor.
She was driving.
She was driving?
That girl was driving. She'd been following her. She watched her. She pulled over and she watched her get out of the driver's side into the passenger side.
She's on the passenger side right now.
Yeah, because I think I saw her get out, and I had another car was right there too, but I guess they left already.
Oh, and why were you following her, ma'am? Just out of curiosity?
It's because when I saw her right there off the Roadrunner, because I was about to turn, like if I'm heading towards like the movies.
Okay.
She was at the stop, like right before you get into the highway.
Uh-huh.
And what I noticed was like people were honking at her, and when I turned, I was like, why are they honking? And I noticed she was like this, and I freaked out, and I was like, oh my God, maybe something happened to her, you know, like maybe she had like a medical condition.
Right.
So I honked, and she had her window rolled down, and that's when I rolled down. And I was all like, are you okay? She said, yeah. But then she went straight, and I was like, you know what, I better like just at least follow her to check up on her, because what if, like, you know, she has a medical condition, or what if she is intoxicated, you know?
Okay. All right, thank you.
When they finally get Stephanie out of her car, she's barely functioning, and it's no surprise that she's also refused to take a field sobriety test, the first good decision she's made so far. She seems to have no understanding of the danger she placed herself and other drivers in by getting behind the wheel that night. In fact, she's acting like this is just an inconvenience for her, something she was sure to let the arresting officers know.
So the wine glass, I think my better talk one from like 2 weeks ago. So you guys want to sit here and talk to me like I'm.
What questions do you have?
We're gonna play games, okay?
No, what questions do you have?
No, I don't have questions. So you're gonna arrest me for whatever you want.
You're already playing in there with.
I was in the passenger seat of the the car and you're gonna arrest me for DWI. Got it. Passenger seat of DWI. Got it.
Stephanie was fired in December of 2019, and the Law Enforcement Academy Board suspended her license in 2021. Her charges were later dismissed, sadly, and it's reported she's filed a motion to oppose her dismissal even. But whether she'll ever work as a cop again, hopefully not, is anyone's guess.